I think I found a massive problem. Welcome back to Living with a Classic and the series on turning this right-hand drive XJS into a left-hand drive XJS. It's been a while since there's been an update. I've been sick, as you guys know, and working on a little bit other things because this really, I need a lot of concentration, so being sort of half sick, it didn't really work. But I've been working on it a little bit now, and I want to show you some of the issues I've had. Some setbacks, some parts I'm waiting on. But today, I hope to show you guys that we completely finished the wiring inside and hopefully test fit the dash, maybe get that completely into place. We can see how far we get. But let me show you what's been going on, what some of the challenges have been, and while we're working on the inside and not underneath at the moment. We'll start underneath. The whole steering is out of the car, steering rack. So I got that out. The plan was, I'm not that used to working on right-hand drive cars, but on the left-hand drive cars, it's just hoses that goes to the steering rack. Let me see, it's over here. And my plan was to get those remade. However, let's just start. What I can say is, it's just hoses a little bit of the way, and the rest of it is complete, metal pipes. So that didn't really work, that idea. So I've ordered 2 new lines for that. I'm waiting for that to arrive. Should get it next week, and then I can continue with that. But all of that is gutted. The lower steering column is out of place, so that is ready to go in on this side. Then I decided to do some things on the interior while I waited, because there were 2 jobs or 3 jobs left to do, like we talked in the last video. Running brake lines to this thing, but I don't really want to do it with the car this high up in the air because that's just uncomfortable for my back. So I want to do the steering rack, get that in place, and then do the brake lines, and then it's the interior bit. So that's where I've been busy, been trying to figure things out, because everything is not completely straightforward, and everything that I planned did not go to plan. So we can start over here. You see those metal brackets are holding different relays and things in place. Those are different between right and left-hand drive, and these wiring harnesses were a little bit different. So I've had to move the brackets over and move all the relays and everything over that. So that's taken some time. So that is all done and figured out. I've also, started mounting all of the wiring harness into place where it holds down with clamps in different places, and done all of that. I have also done this. The relays on both sides are in. All these connections are made, and this foam is back here to protect the wiring. So all of that is done as well, and the loom is connected on the bulkhead connectors on both sides. So that has taken quite a bit of time. This is completely ready to go into place. The next step are these, which I removed. Those are the air ducts from the blower motors into the heater box. And let me see. Yeah, this is the one that originally went on this side. It goes like that. This one has a little bit of a spout coming out of it for the sensor for the air temperature, and this is what that little thing goes in there. And then there is a sensor. Here is that sensor. But originally this hose was only like this long, and it went to sensor here. But it was just normal sort of fuel line. So I got a longer one, and I've cut the cable here, so I'm going to extend it over to here, because originally my plan was to take this one from this side and flip it over and use it on that side. But as you can see, they are they're not perfectly perpendicular, so they only fit on one side. So that plan doesn't work, which means I need to do this instead and extend it. So that is what I'm working on right now. Once this is in place, I can bolt that last bracket in place and those last relays, and clean up some of this last bit once this is in place on that side. And then we're pretty much ready to start to get the dash in. But you see, A lot of weird little things like that they need to figure out. I also need to clean up this wiring because there was an immobilizer on this. I'm using the steering column that was in the car before. So I need to join these two cables back together again and remove some of this. And then everything from the immobilizer is, bypassed, and the car is going to work normally. So some things left to do, but I'll update you guys when these things are in. We can start getting the dash in, and it should start looking more like a car again. I'm getting pretty close to getting the dash in. So you see the blue thing there in the back. So the air ducts are in place, and you see a shiny little piece of metal down there with this hose going to it. So that is the hose for the intake air temperature that's been moved to that side. I'm right now just pulling some new wiring here to extend that. I have put these things in, which are the ducts that go into the dash. And on this side I did that, and I can't exactly remember how this is routed, but it took me a while to figure out, because if this is below here, then these wires are going to chafe on the edge of this. So not sure if that's completely correct, but it fits up there and it's not going to chafe anywhere. I have also rerun this cable over here to the buzzer, I think that is. I have run some vacuum lines up here, and yeah, quite a bit has been done, but it's been very, very, very fiddly. I'll make these connections here, and I need to cut up those wires, join those two wires, the rest are cut off, and then I think I'm ready to try and get the dash in here. All right, let's see if we can get this dash in. One thing I want to check is the length of this hose. So I have it disconnected on this side so that we can adjust that. But I think that can all be done through the glove box, really. So we can sort of push that back to there. We will bring that back. And starting to look pretty good. We do have some things to connect over here. I'm gonna try and get in. And I think we're gonna start doing that first. Now, these cables here. Balance it. I have all the wood removed. We'll get into that in a little bit. And this glove box, the wood's bad, but we're going to replace that. And I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a trick of how we're going to do that, because I've had some questions about the wood on this cart. There we go. And then I have pulled up this piece of the wiring here so that we can connect up the trip computer. Which this car did not have before, so that is cool. We're gonna have to fix the wood around there, but we'll do that later. Let's see. We'll just pull that through the glove box for now. We can have a look at that later. Okay. So we'll get that wiring out of the way. Most of it at least. We'll remove that for now. That for now, we can put those in later. Some of the wiring is a little bit in the way over here. I'm gonna have to see about that. Seems to be the main issue right now is the whole harness over here. This screw here, which holds the dash, it goes against this thing, so I'm not really sure. Not really sure about that. Got my bolts here. So it is 2 bolts on the outside and 2 nuts here. So you see there's a groove it goes into. I'm gonna try and get some of those in first, I think. See if I can figure out what's going on. It needs to go this way a bit. Now, the whole issue seems to be this wiring harness here, which I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to solve this. I think I found a massive problem. So these vacuum pods that control, I think the mist and a couple other things. I'm wondering if on a left-hand drive car, these are on the other side, because if you have a look in here, you see how much it has to go over before that can slot into place, and you see how we're touching there. So if that goes over anymore, then this needs to be behind here, which I don't think can work. I'm gonna try one more time and see if I can get past there, see if that works. If not, we're gonna have to tear this down, see if these can be moved over to the other side, or if I need to go back to the parts car and get some parts. Yeah, I made a quick phone call to my friend who has the parts car, and he went outside and looked. These are on the other side, on a left-hand drive car. So what I can see is there are blanking plugs here, one there, one behind the wiring there for them. So this part would be pretty easy, probably to get from the other car. I can go there sometime next week, it's still an hour away, and get that. That moves this one. This one, however, I think I'm gonna have to do something about and try and move, hopefully without having to take this whole thing apart. Yeah, this is what happens when you do something for the first time. You run into some issues. I thought I had most things covered, but yeah, this was a new thing. So while that is some negative news, I have to fix that. I'm gonna need to see if I need to get parts from the car or if I just move things over with the blanking plugs. I want to end on a positive note. So this is the dash we're putting in. You see the wood is really, really bad, but the wood was good on the other dash. This we're gonna have to do something about. I think we're gonna remove the veneer for now and paint those sort of matte black so that they just sort of match this for now, and then we can re-veneer those another time. But this is the dash that we took out. So I have just removed this piece of wood. These go in the same place on the other side, so they will fit. But this one, my theory was I could just flip it, around, and that wood is the same, so that's going to fit. And my theory works, because you have 4 little mounting things here. They line up perfectly, so that's going to fit. So that is really, really nice that all the wood is going to fit, no problem at all. Well, that's it for this video, ending on a little bit of disappointment because there's more things happening, but I've never done a conversion like this before, so of course I'm going to miss something. So I need to wait on the hoses to continue the steering, and I need to figure that out. So I think I'm going to go out later, tomorrow or so, see if I can figure out if I can move those over or if I need to get some parts. And what's left to do is move those, get the dash in, and then we can do brake lines. So next video, we'll see. It might be brake lines, or it might be that we've actually managed to move those and get the dash in. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot. Till next time, I'm Adam. This was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.